So today is January 16th, and I'm officially 2 days behind on the challenge, but uh, so be it. I have intentions of catching up this weekend, and I'm trying to catch up, a little bit day by day. So I started to do some today, and I'll continue tomorrow. And I'm excited about this next process, the next step, and also nervous about it too. So I guess that's a good thing. That's going to be building my origin story, essentially. So the Epiphany Bridge script and the origin story, and it's all very exciting. So I'm going to start a podcast, and I'd like to do a Facebook Live and the podcast at the same time. Haven't quite figured out how to do that because I'm not really sure how I can do a live video and record the podcast at the same time. I don't know. So maybe I'll do that later. Maybe I'll figure that out later and just start with the podcast itself, and then slowly but surely figure out how to do, how to post each of these things. So I'll figure that out. But I'm still excited because I've been wanting to start a podcast for a long time, and I've been trying to figure out, gosh, what am I going to talk about? What could I possibly talk about? And I'm going to talk about my journey, my journey from where I came from, where I am now, and where I'm going. So I want people to join me on this journey. I have no idea where it's going to go. I don't know where it leads. I don't know where it ends. I don't know. I have no idea what, different paths will show themselves along the way. I don't know, and that's the exciting thing about it. But I can share my journey with people while I'm in my journey, and have people hold me accountable to that journey. So I'm not going to be able to give up if people are watching me, and if I mean, maybe I can inspire somebody. I don't know, and if I can, then that will give me fuel to keep pressing on. So I'm excited about this. I again am a little bit behind. I'm stacking on the stuff that I'm doing, and I am maintaining my focus at the same time. So it's not like the stuff that I'm stacking on is completely unrelated. It's actually all very much related. I volunteered to be part of a beta group with a woman who is starting her coaching business, and that takes up some time, being in that group, but it's great for all parties. So it gives me a little boost, a little coaching boost, and it gives her some help to see how she can better run her coaching business, or maybe there's some tweaks that she needs to make that she didn't think about that she's seeing now that there's actually people in her program. So everybody wins, and it's kind of part of the challenge too. I'm going to swap hands here. Hi, lots of books. I love books. They're my favorite. So I am very much staying on track and relevant. Still on track with a digital marketing agency. That hasn't changed. I'm getting, I'm reading a lot. I'm getting a lot of motivational speeches. I'm taking courses. I'm doing all sorts of things. But it's all, and this OFA challenge and everything. But it's all very much related to me building and scaling a digital marketing agency. It's all related to that. So I feel like it's okay. It does make me a little bit busier, of course, which is why I'm 2 days behind now. Well, that's not why I'm 2 days behind, but it is a contributing factor of me being 2 days behind in the OFA challenge. But I'm pressing on, and I know I have a couple of catch-up days coming up, so I'm going to use those wisely. And my love already knows that this weekend is going to be kind of dedicated to catching up, and he's okay with that. So that's good news. And he has a 3D weekend, actually, which means we might be able to still at least spend one day together, which I very much look forward to. And in the meantime, I guess I will let you go, and I will go and continue on, press on, and build my story out. Oh, that was one thing I wanted to mention was, while I'm building my story, I thought I was just going to go on the podcast and just talk about it. But seeing this script, I realized that if I were just to go on and talk about it, I would be missing a very important structure to my story, and it wouldn't likely have the same impact as I might hope that it would, or it at least it wouldn't be as it wouldn't flow as naturally as it ought to or as it could. And I know that might sound weird because I'm talking about a script, and scripts, what's natural about a script? Well, looking at it, it all makes perfect sense. And as I'm filling in the pieces of the script with my story, I realize, wow, I can see why this would be really important to address. And if I had just started talking off the cuff, I likely would not even have mentioned it. So it would take away from my story by not having all these elements in place. So I definitely am glad that I didn't start the podcast yet, because I want to do this as well as I can. The first time around, it's not going to be perfect. I know that. And I also know that even though I want to do, all these different mediums at the same time, I might not be able to do that right away, because if I take too long to figure out how to go live and record a podcast at the same time, I might not do it. And that's not okay. That's not where I need to be. So I might just go and do lives later on. As long as I'm publishing every day, maybe it's not on all the mediums. Maybe I just do Facebook Live once a week. That's fine, but my podcast is every day. So that actually might work out well. So I'm going to continue with the script and continue filling out, answering the questions in my own story to make sure that I'm hitting all the right marks. And then I'm going to, build it out. I'm doing kind of a draft today. And then tomorrow, I think I actually build it out and finalize it. And then that might be the day that I also do my first podcast. So maybe tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then probably the day after. But anyway, I have a lot to do. I'm also kind of hungry, so I think I'm going to go eat lunch. Baby girl just ate lunch, didn't she? And she seems to be doing all right. So I will talk to you later.